कैसे चला यार, डेलीवर कर दिया हमने। ऊपर भी नजर आ रहा है।
कम से कम 50 रुपये का मास्क होना चाहिए।
उसका बंद हो जाएगा।
इस साइड पे
अनअटेंडेड कंफर्ट टेस्टिंग क्या होती है? हाँ आपने सुबह अनअटेंडेड उसके लिए PRF की अटेंडेड के लिए
And we'll be starting in another 2 minutes, right at 5 o'clock. So please gather around.
माइक और चेयर आ रही है ना,
कोई चीज़ नहीं है। अटेंडेड टेस्टिंग
बस ठीक है। और मैं एक मिलर है उसको प्रोवाइडिंग की
उसकी बुनियाद पे मैंने PRF गूगल पे
वहाँ तक काफ़ी है, थोड़ा सा और सही है सही है।
साथ दिया ना
Assalamualaikum. All right, we're ready to start. Let's move forward. Please join in. So that we welcome our guest on stage. People from downstairs, please join us.
Assalamualaikum everyone. May I have your attention? Please gather so that we can start off.
All right, so we'll just welcome our guest, Mr. Asif on stage. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Yeah. You can do. You can do.
just take the mic. Assalamualaikum everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us. Asif Sahab is a distinguished thought leader in the global technology space. He is the chairman and CEO of Skillball Technologies, as well as Deploy, which has launched the first manufactured smartphone brand in Pakistan, Sparks. So, and today, Asif Sahab will be talking about global entrepreneurship in technology. technology, because that's what he's been awarded for by the President of Pakistan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ji. Thanks for having me. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Minaj, where is my presentation? Minaj. Right. So, maybe I should just stand more comfortable. Yeah. Okay, Ji. First of all, thank you all for sparing time and being here. I will start with a very brief disclaimer. Usually what happens is that someone who's standing at a stage in front of you comes with a sort of authority, and people feel that this individual probably knows better than them. So I want to clarify one thing, that that's not the case here. Whatever I'm going to say here is based on my experiences, my learning, and the career that I had. Maybe some of you probably have a prolonged career than me, but I've had the privilege to deal with and work with a lot of nationalities in different geographic locations in the world. So I believe I have sort of experience which is more diverse and more rich, and that's what I'm here for, to share those experiences with you. And I hope by the time we finish this session, some of you, if not all, would feel that there was some sort of learning out of all this. So the disclaimer is this, that whatever I say here, take it, absorb it, but do your own research, vet everything yourself before forming an opinion. And that's something very crucial and important. So critical thinking is very important. That's what I'm trying to advocate here. Okay. So, when water moves, it nourishes life. When it stagnates, it's decaying. Why I put it on screen here? Because the same is true for knowledge. As long as the knowledge is opportunities, the moment you start holding on to the knowledge, that becomes, it starts decaying your own soul and your own self. So this is the philosophy that I have adopted in my life, and I would like to see all the young individuals, especially from Gen Z, to adopt the same strategy, and it has always worked for me. I have learned more the more I shared. Actually, one great philosopher said something very nice, and that was like, to be alive, you have to breathe in and breathe out. If you breathe in and just hold it there, you might be able to hold it for a while, but this will be the end of life eventually. So metaphorically, the same works well for knowledge as well. Okay, now the start of the presentation. I know all of you actually work for a nice tech organization. By the way, very nice choice of location for the office. Park Towers is a great location, and you guys are to be in a place which is so nice and so well located. So basically, I'm not here to actually talk about technology because we will touch the subject slightly, but I am here to talk about the human engine behind the technology, like the people who build technology and how they get to the stage where they're able to build such amazing tools and amazing solutions for all sorts of problems in the world. So I'm basically going to refer to the mindset that creates solutions for problems which are genuine, real-life problems, which are genuine world problems. And by giving those solutions, we are bringing betterment, growth to our societies, to our countries, and to our companies that we are working for. So I would like to give a brief intro about myself. I am an entrepreneur, a technologist, a builder, a philosopher of order. Why I say that, you will see in the following slides what that actually means. So the act of building, I think it's one of the most beautiful and mesmerizing feeling when you feel that you built something. I'm sure some of you guys probably built their houses, some of you probably built some physical objects, some projects, but the feeling that comes with building something, I don't think there's any appropriate words to define that feeling. So what we are building here We as Deploy, as Skill Vault, we are building systems, software systems. So we've done ERP systems for oil and gas. We have done portals for several firms. We have provided AI-enabled automation systems. But like I said today, the objective is not to sell a product here or to show to you guys that what solutions we have to do. The objective is to talk about a mindset that enables us to do all that. In business, we are into tech gadgets, consumer electronics, we provided human resource management systems, we are into manufacturing, distribution, we are into dealerships, we are into retail, so a whole plethora of things out there. Brands, in Pakistan, we own a brand called Sparks, it's a smartphone brand, so if you will just search on YouTube, you will find a lot of videos. Most of our top celebrities in Pakistan, there are brand ambassadors, Maira Khan, what other guys we have? And Shehryar Munawar, and a lot of, like all the top celebrities, they work with us as brand ambassadors. We have a brand called X Mobile, which is a feature phone brand, and this is for the rural markets, because we still have it's not something I'm too proud of, but in our country we still have a very large number of people who are still using what you call a feature phone, which is a non-Android, non-Apple based phone, it's a button phone. There is a huge market for that. I mean, we are almost manufacturing and selling 250,000 units a month. That is still huge. We have smartwatches, which is called X Watch. We have accessories called XS. We have tablets called XPad. But, and it's a big but, my real work has been building clarity within myself. So I am someone who knows. Actually, I see this as my top achievement, that I'm clear in my mind where I want to go, what I do, who I am. Very few simple questions. But to tell you the truth, of all the people that I've worked with across the world, very few have this clarity. Throughout the world, I have met with countless people, and I've had countless conversations with people. And I have been amazed to see that people who wake up in the morning, who leave their homes, who go to do certain things, may call it a job, a business, or whatever, at the end of the day, have no clarity, no real sense of who they are, what they want to do, and how they are going to do it. So if you don't ponder on these questions, you are just a machine which, even that machine is not operable to its mandate. So this is very important. In my opinion, the first question you should ask yourself, especially the young people here, is who you are, where your roots are, what your values are, what your virtues are, what you're trying to achieve, and why you want to achieve it. Like some very wise man, one of my, I would say, role models, or one philosopher, his name is Jim Rohn, you can search him on YouTube. He said, work on your list of whys. You know, why I'm doing, why go out, why work, why do a business, why I'm doing this. You need to know why. So, what it went beyond me. I believe in ecosystems. I don't believe in having a company which has employees where people come, they work for me, and they earn their salaries, and I earn my profits, and at the end of the day we go home. That's not the purpose of life, or that's not what a value-driven system should work like. Basically, a business should be a part of an ecosystem which allows growth for everybody. So the main keyword here is growth. The main motivation for anybody to wake up in the morning and leave their homes should not be making money. It should be growth. And once the growth comes in, the money is a side effect, it comes by itself. This is something I take real pride in, and time and again I mention this, that this ecosystem that we have built has created at least 2,000 jobs in Pakistan. And it's growing. And on top of that, we are not just a business, we are a sort of an institution where we have factories, we are actually hiring young individuals who are not coming from privileged class, we are hiring people from the slums areas, and then we are training them in a high-tech environment to make some good technicians out of them. And eventually what happens, these individuals who usually would be kind of hopeless, become technicians, and they find a meaning to their life. So one life changed is going to have an impact on the entire family. And we have impacted thousands of lives in the past 3 years. And why I'm telling you this? I'm not telling you this to make a point that we are doing a great job. I'm telling you this to let you know that this is something that is doable, regardless of all the challenges, problems, issues that we are having in this environment or this country or whatever you want to call it. It is still doable. If we could do it, anyone could do it. It's not going to be easy, but then if anything is easy, it's not worth doing at all. It's a complete waste of your life if you're doing something which is easy to do because anybody can do it. Doesn't make you special at all. Like I said, we've trained thousands of young people, we've given them skills, we've given them structure, and we've given them purpose. People who did not have the means even to go to a school or a college found a way to become clinicians to build smartphones. That's like the entire family, if you ask the family, the entire family is proud of them. So we have given them that platform, that structure where they could make some meaning out of their lives. From engineers to salespeople, from designers to factory workers, each one became part of something larger than a salary check. So this whole cycle of working for a salary check is something that needs to be changed. People should work, people should be in an environment where they look forward to their day at work. Their main motivation should be countering challenges, giving solutions, and making life worthwhile, rather than spending 9 to 5 in an office and at the end of the month getting a paycheck. And I'm afraid that a lot of people in the world are stuck in this quagmire. This has to be changed. And how this will change? This will change with a mindset. I'll come to that after. So every system I built was a classroom. Every brand built was a teacher. And every young person who rose from it was the real success story. And that brings me to my question. What is success? Who can answer that? I would want to give mic to someone. Let's make it a more interactive session. Can I have another mic, please? This is a very interesting question, and I've asked this time and again in different venues to different people, and I've come across some very interesting answers. So I want to ask a few people here as well. What is success? Who can define success for me? Can I have another mic? That gives you guys some time to Google it, yeah? No cheating allowed. So, do we have a mic? Okay, I think we can hear out each other. So, who wants to answer that? Anybody? Yes, please.
So in my opinion, success cannot be defined. So every person has their own definition of success. So for someone, it can be money,
Okay.
and for anyone else, it can be happiness or satisfied life.
All right. What's your name?
Aisha.
Aisha. Okay. Aisha ji gave an answer here, which is very right, that it's subjective. For different people, success can be something different. But that again brings us to the core question: what actually is success? Okay, it is for people it's subjective, but what is the right definition of success? What is a globally applicable definition of success? Who can answer that? Take a mic. Take a mic.
It is the achievement of inner goals.
Good. Very good. So to be successful, the first thing you need to have in your mind, or you should be clear about, is a goal. Your goal could be anything. Like you said, somebody's goal could be making $1 million. So for them, money means success. But a lot of people think in our society that success means that you have a house, you have a car, you have a bank balance, you have a wife, and you have kids, you are successful. That is the wrong definition. The real definition for success is that you need to have a goal, you need to have a clear idea on how to achieve that goal, and you need to be working on it. So, for example, I'll just put it very in easy terms. Let's suppose Aisha's goal is to earn $1 million. We all know that earning $1 million is not so easy. You cannot just go out of the house and make $1 million. But if she is actively pursuing that goal, she's working towards it. She's doing something about it. So every day when she wakes up, she plans the day in a way that her priorities include achieving something about that goal. She's a successful person. And she does not necessarily need to have $1 million to be successful. The thing is that she knows what she's doing, she's doing something about it, and she will eventually get there if things align for her. And again, I will come down to that how those things are aligned in the following slides. So yeah, to keep it short, success basically means that you have a goal and you're working towards it. Here comes another concept, which is discipline, because between goal and achievement, the bridge that needs to be crossed is called discipline. Your goals, that transforms your goals into success. We'll come to that. Yeah, this is a good one. Every man is self-made. You guys must have heard about this a lot of times, but only the successful admit it. So basically, everyone is self-made. Even a failure is self-made. So if somebody is failing in life, it's their own fault. Like Bill Gates said, it's not your fault if you are born poor, but it's definitely your fault if you die poor. Because this world, I want to say this, that if you look at the entire history of mankind, keeping the religion out of it, if you just purely follow what the scientific research is saying, the breed of human species that we are from, Homo sapiens, have been around for 300,000 years. And throughout this history today, this era which we are living in is the safest, the cleanest, and the most abundant era of entire human history. So I did not decide that I will be born in this age. You guys, none of you decided it. Yeah? But we are here today. This makes us extremely lucky. Imagine 300 years ago, actually this morning I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues, and I was telling him that once I had the opportunity to visit a castle in Edinburgh in Scotland, and across the castle there was a graveyard. It was very beautiful, was very serene, so I decided to just go and check it out, and I was amazed to see that none of the people who were in that graveyard were more than 30 years of age. And this was the graveyard belonged to an era from 1700s to 1800s, which means the average age in that era was 30 years. So anyone today who's complaining about problems and issues above that age is actually living a bonus life. So one of my favorite American author, Earl Nightingale, said it very wisely and nicely that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Exactly the same thing which I just mentioned, that if you have a worthy ideal and you're working towards Seneca, one of the most well-respected philosophers, said no winds is favorable to the man who does not know where he is going. You need to know where you are going, otherwise you're not going to take advantage of any opportunity that you have. Like they say that luck is just an equation, which is a summation of preparation and opportunity. So if you are prepared and you find an opportunity, you're lucky. If you are either one of those ingredients is missing, you can call yourself unlucky, but it's actually your fault. And this is one of the most beautiful way of putting it, that success is not something you pursue. Success is something that you attract by becoming a more attractive person. So you have to work on yourself to become successful, not work on outside elements, because very few of the outside elements are actually in your control. I'll come back to the power of clarity. Everything is about making decisions. The right decisions will always lead you to the right path, and the wrong decisions will always lead you to regrets. And it's clarity which makes the difference. If you have clarity, you will be clarity. Your decisions will lead you to failures. A confused mind hesitates, a clear mind creates. I will quickly touch these because it's very important to have your virtue system. It's very important this is about your mindset and about your character building. The four virtues are wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Again, a very important and a very interesting question here. What is data? What is information? How is it different from knowledge? And what is wisdom? Does anybody know this? We're all IT people. So information is is our core. I want to know how many of you know the difference between data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Anybody? Where's the mic? Who has the mic? Yeah. So anybody? At least somebody could try. Nobody? Come on, we are IT company, yeah? Okay, I will give a very basic example which will clarify this. What's your name? आपका नाम क्या है? माइक में बोलें.
My name is Asif.
सादिक. Okay. So आप माशाल्लाह शादीशुदा हैं? कितने बच्चे हैं आपके? अच्छा. बाल बच्चेदार कौन है यहाँ पे? हाँ, इनको माइक दे भाई. You lost your privilege. जी सलाम अलैकुम. क्या नाम है आपका?
सुहेब.
सुहेब क्या करते हैं?
मैं यहाँ पे बिजनेस में होता हूँ, प्रोडक्ट टेक्नोलॉजी.
वेरी गुड. माशाल्लाह कितने बच्चे हैं आपके? दो बच्चे. चले. दोनों में
कोर्स कीजिए 1.5 साल.
So this example. तो होता क्या है बेसिकली कि जब आपकी बेटी को खुदा न खास्ता कभी बुखार होता है तो आप क्या करते हैं, डिजिटल थर्मोमीटर लेते हैं और हर थोड़ी देर बाद एक बीप की आवाज़ आती है, ऐसा ही है. अच्छा, तो क्या हो रहा है, ही इज गैदरिंग डेटा. दिस इज डेटा कि जी 7 बजे जो था बेबी को 37.5 टेम्परेचर था, 8 बजे बेबी को 38 टेम्परेचर था. करते करते रात के 12 बज गए और जो लास्ट रीडिंग इन्होंने ली वो उस वक्त 38.5 तक दिखानी चली गई, विच इज क्वाइट बैड. सो क्या हुआ, ही इज गैदरिंग डेटा. अब इनकी बेगम इनसे पूछती है क्या सिचुएशन है. मोहतरमा का नाम क्या है वैसे? फातिमा. फातिमा जी इनसे पूछती है कि क्या सिचुएशन है, तो ये कहते हैं 6 घंटे में 37 से 35 पे आ गया टेम्परेचर. दिस इज इंफॉर्मेशन. डेटा ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इन स्ट्रक्चर्ड फॉर्म इज इंफॉर्मेशन. अब बताएं इसमें से कुछ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है. बेसिकली फ्रॉम इंफॉर्मेशन टू मिस इंफॉर्मेशन देयर इज अ वेरी ब्लर्ड लाइन. एंड मैं वापस आपके पास आऊंगा, आप माइक अपने पास ही रखें, बट मैं एक चीज जो पूछना चाहता हूँ यहाँ पर, टेकिंग मिस इंफॉर्मेशन इनटू अकाउंट इज आप हजरत, आपका नाम क्या है? अफान. मुझे बताएं पिछले 1 वीक में बिजनेस रिलेटेड एक्टिविटी को छोड़ के आपने कितनी व्हाट्सएप पोस्ट शेयर की होंगी एवरेज? बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट अबाउट इट. या कोई भी शेयरिंग आप फेसबुक करते होंगे, इंस्टा करते होंगे, कुछ तो करते होंगे भाई. 3 से 4. सो ही इज इन अ ग्रीन जोन. मेरे हिसाब से महीने में 3 से 4 होनी चाहिए इफ इट्स नॉट रिलेटेड टू. उसकी वजह क्या है वो मैं बताता हूँ. few years ago the UK government actually issued clear guidelines. Mention when it goes to repetitive iterations, it can easily become misinformation. So we need to stop that cycle. We need to stop that cycle. We need to be. We do not want to be instrumental to that cycle, and it always causes a lot of pain, misery, problems in the world when misinformation spreads in the disguise of information. मैं उसको वापस आता हूँ, वापस आते हैं हज़रत के पास. So basically, अब क्या है कि आपने जब बेगम को ये बताया कि टेम्परेचर 37 से 38.5 तक पहुंचा 6 घंटे में, तो आपकी बेगम ने कहा कि बेबी को बुखार हो रहा है. दिस इज नॉलेज, राइट? दिस इज नॉलेज. अब नॉलेज और विजडम में क्या फर्क है? नो, नॉलेज इज नॉट विजडम. नॉलेज इज, जो मैंने आपको एग्जांपल में कहा कि बेबी को बुखार हो रहा है या इन्फेक्शन है. विजडम ये कि आप रिप्लाई करते हो बेगम को कि मैं पीडियाट्रिशियन से अपॉइंटमेंट लूं या अभी उसको हम हॉस्पिटल ले जाएं टेस्ट करवाने के लिए, rather than giving her the random medication. This is wisdom. अब हमारे पास generally in the world the biggest problem we have a lot of informed people, we have a lot even more misinformed people, we have few knowledgeable people, and we have very few wise people. So my advice to all of you is seek wisdom. Do not seek information or knowledge. Become student of wisdom. This is just an example. इस तरह की आपको हजारों examples मिल जाएगी. But first we need to identify where the border lines are, where the boundaries are, what we are talking about. So we'll come again to. This is called the DIKW hierarchy. आप Google कर सकते हैं. बड़ी अच्छी आपको आपको बहुत अच्छा लिटरेचर मिल जाएगा. And I think self-learning के लिए it's a very good idea to have a clear distinction because a lot of times these terminologies they overlap. So it's very important that you actually know what stands for what. Now, the shear guideline. मैं आपकी तरफ आता हूँ वापस. Very simple. Shear के spellings क्या है? SHARE, right? तो आपके पास जब भी कोई piece of info आता है या piece of social media पे या कोई भी चीज आती है, the first thing is you need to check the source. Always pay attention to stuff that comes from credible sources. नबील ने मुझे कोई चीज भेजी है, doesn't matter. अच्छा, नबील ने अगर मुझे कोई पिक्चर भेजी है, स्क्रीनशॉट भेजा है जो कि डॉन से आया है, तो probably this is something worthwhile. लेकिन मुझे फिर भी उसको लेके नहीं फॉरवर्ड करना चाहिए. मुझे पहले डॉन की साइट पे जाके देखना चाहिए कि ये डॉन से आया भी है या ये फोटोशॉप. So basically, the source, the verification of the source is the first thing that you must do. Otherwise, you are actually doing a disservice to yourself, to your society, to your country, to your fellow human beings, because you are becoming instrumental in spreading falsehood. बोला जाता है, आप जब बच्चे होते हैं, parents also tell us, बेटा झूठ नहीं बोलो, ये बुरी बात है, ये गुनाह है, XYZ. तो basically, we are becoming instrumental to that big झूठ. Second thing, never share the headline. Never share the headline. Read the entire article first and then share what you understand from it. That's why it's very important to read between the lines. Then comes the accuracy. Even Don should not be enough. If even Don says something and it is quoting something which is scientific, let's suppose कि जी कोई medicine ऐसी आई है जो खाने से कान बड़े हो जाते हैं. आजकल आप देखते हैं ना बड़ी वैक्सीन को लेके और बाकी चीजों को लेके इस तरह की outrageous किस्म की statements आती हैं. So then you should go and check the accuracy of those facts as well. अच्छा, अगर इस फॉर्मेट पे आएंगे ना, आप कभी कुछ शेयर नहीं करेंगे because nobody has the time to go through all this process. This is why this firewall is being made. Then comes the relevance. अब नबील साहब साइंसदान हैं, आप जो है वो कोई करियाना की दुकान चलाते हैं. नबील को भी मैं जानता हूँ, आपको भी जानता हूँ, उन्होंने मुझे फॉरवर्ड किया, आप मेरे ग्रुप में, मैंने आपको भेज दी. What is the relevance here? Why I am bombarding you with something that is not even relevant to you? तो मेरा आप सबसे, माशाल्लाह आप सब पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, बट फिर भी मेरी रिक्वेस्ट होगी, try to minimize the WhatsApp groups and ये जितना भी एक कल्चर बना हुआ है ना कि मोहल्ले का भी ग्रुप है, फिर उसमें गली का भी ग्रुप है, फिर उसमें फैमिली का भी ग्रुप है, फिर उसमें फेवरेट सिबलिंग्स का भी ग्रुप है. This is a complete waste of life. Come out of this cycle. And then finally, emotion. जो चीज आप शेयर कर रहे हैं, क्या उससे किसी के जज्बात को ठेस तो नहीं पहुंचेगी? It could be true. मैं जानता हूँ दुनिया में बहुत जुल्म हो रहा है, मैं जानता हूँ मुख्तलिफ मुल्कों में जंग चल रही है. मेरे पास एक तस्वीर आती है, एक बच्चे को गोलियां लगी हुई है, बड़ी अफसोसनाक बात है, लेकिन एक माँ जिसका अपना छोटा बच्चा होगा वो क्या कर सकती है इस बारे में? और अगर ये मैं उसको शेयर कर रहा हूँ तो मैं उसको इमोशनली डिस्टर्ब तो नहीं कर रहा. So we should be very considerate about all this. So share guidelines, share means share. Keep this in your mind, it will help you a lot, and I promise you if you will follow these guidelines, you will not be sharing more than maybe 1 or 2 posts a month, and this will help everybody. Then I want to come touch something called the law of resonance. Resonance physics, हम सबने पढ़ी है. There is a concept in physics called resonance. Mean physics में resonance किस चीज को कहते हैं? चले गूगल ना करें, मैं बता देता हूँ. Resonance is basically when the two systems frequency match. The one system results in the amplification of the second system. होता ये कि जब जंगें होती थी, जिस वक्त में troops used to go for wars, उनको एक special instruction होती थी that especially like World War II, the troops had special instruction कि जब आप ब्रिज के ऊपर जाते हैं तो आप मार्च ना करें. They were forbidden to march on the bridge. Why is that? उसकी वजह ये है कि जो ट्रूप्स मार्च करते हैं तो दे मार्च विद अ सर्टेन फ्रीक्वेंसी. अगर वो फ्रीक्वेंसी ब्रिज वाइब्रेट करता है जब वो मार्च करते हैं, हालांकि ब्रिज इज मेड ऑफ स्टील, इट्स नॉट समथिंग व्हिच कैन जस्ट ब्रेक लाइक दैट, बट अगर जो मार्च की फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो ब्रिज की वाइब्रेशन की फ्रीक्वेंसी से मैच हो जाती है तो द ब्रिज में कोलैप्स एंड ऑल द ट्रूप्स में फॉल डाउन. दिस इज अ फैक्ट, आप चेक करिए. सेम गोज फॉर लाइफ. आपकी जो लाइफ है, जो आपके बाहर है, वो ब्रिज है, और आप वो यू आर दोज ट्रूप्स हु आर मार्चिंग. आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी अगर मैच हो जाती है आपकी सराउंडिंग्स के साथ, एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स टू चेंज. You can make systems. I'm a living proof of that. This is not just concept or theory. It's something that if you work on yourself, everything will work around you. I can very easily illustrate this with two circles. आपको पता है concentric circles क्या होते हैं? What are concentric circles? Does anybody know? यार स्कूल कहाँ से पढ़ के आए हो?
जिनका सेंटर सेम होता है, जिनका सेंटर सेम होता है कॉन्सेंट्रिक सर्कल.
Yes. Concentric circles are those circles के एक सर्कल के अंदर दूसरा सर्कल हो. Those are called concentric circles. ठीक है जी. अब आप यूं या कोई मैं ड्रॉ कर सकता हूँ कुछ है हमारे पास? अगर तो रेडी फैसिलिटी है then that's fine. Otherwise मैं कोशिश करता हूँ मैं वर्ड्स में बयान करूँ. चले मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश करता हूँ. थोड़ी सी इमेजिनेशन यूज करते हैं. This is one circle, okay, and that is the outer circle. तो एक जो इनर सर्कल है that is inside the outer circle but the center is the same. अब आप यूँ समझिए कि the inner circle is your own being. आपने जवाब दिया था मोहतरमा, आपका नाम क्या है?
रबिया.
रबिया. तो रबिया कंसिडर ये करें कि इनका जो इनर सर्कल है that is रबिया's existence, या इनकी जो being है that is the inner circle. Let's come out to the outer circle, that is रबिया की जो जिंदगी है, जो हालात हैं, जो सर्कमस्टेंसेस हैं, वो सब आउटर सर्कल है. अब रबिया आउटर सर्कल को कुछ नहीं कर सकती. रबिया सिर्फ इनर सर्कल में चेंजेस ला सकती हैं. यानी रबिया सुबह उठती किस वक्त है, खाती क्या है, पीती क्या है, एक्सरसाइज करती है, नहीं करती है, वॉक पे जाती हैं. तो जैसे जैसे उसके कलर्स ड्रॉ होंगे इनर सर्कल में, समहाउ द आउटर सर्कल विल स्टार्ट रिफ्लेक्टिंग द सेम. और इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि when you start working on yourself, the universe also starts working on itself around you. And this is a very important learning in this entire discussion we are having today. If you will just take this one learning out of this, my session here will be a big success. So think very deeply about this and try to work on yourself. More or less all the same stuff that I said. Marcus Aurelius, he was a great Roman emperor. His book called Meditations is one of the best books ever written. And Meditations is a book which actually was not written as a book. Those were all just his thoughts that he scribbled somewhere and later on it became a book. अगर आपको इस साल में एक बुक पढ़नी है तो please read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. कितना टाइम रह गया हमारे पास? How much time? Consider doing is working on yourself. What does it mean yourself? This is again a question. Somebody should ask me this, that what do you mean by telling me work on yourself? What is yourself? So basically, you have the mind, which is your compass. It gives you direction, it gives you clarity, it gives you focus. How you can work on your mind is number one, block all the gibberish, block all the rubbish. I want to interact with you guys. किसी को भी माइक दे दे, किसी को भी randomly. अच्छा, this sort of interaction I'm having just to explain things better to you. The aim is not to kind of point something at anyone. So if I say something which you guys might not like, I apologize in advance for that. Mic किसके पास है? Who has the mic? किसी को भी दे दें. जी, नाम दोबारा बताएं. Afan. So the first point, the mind. अफान, आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा कि आप क्या कंज्यूम करते हैं? आप दिन में मतलब क्या आपकी एक्टिविटीज होती हैं? आप टीवी देखते हैं?
ऑफिस में जब होते हैं जब, तो कभी तो जब टाइम मिल जाता है तो सोशल मीडिया यूज कर लेते हैं.
ठीक है. सोशल मीडिया पे क्या देखते हैं? आपकी फीड पे क्या होता है?
इंस्टाग्राम पे अभी तो जैसे कि टेस्ट मैच चल रहा है तो कभी टाइम मिलता है.
ठीक हो गया. न्यूज़ देखते हैं?
नहीं.
ठीक हो गया. स्पोर्ट्स देखते हैं यानी? ठीक है. सो बेसिकली अगर आपको स्पोर्ट्स में इंटरेस्ट है ना, तो आप स्पोर्ट्स खेलें, देखें ना.
खेलते नहीं है जब टाइम मिलता है।
ज़्यादा टाइम उस पर लगा है। उसकी in a lot of cases because most of the sporting events in soccer, in the Premier League, in World Cup, in 2020. So you are actually becoming an audience who is there to just buy the ticket and make money for those enterprises. The body. अब किसी और को माइक दें? कोई और ले ले माइक? कोई खातून को दे दे। जी मोहतरमा, अपना नाम बताएं। नम्रा। नम्रा, मुझे ये बताएं कि आपकी पूरे दिन में एक्टिविटी क्या होती है? कितना वॉक? नहीं, काम को छोड़ देना। अब बात हो रही है, इट इज रिलेटेड टू योर बॉडी, द वेसल व्हिच कैरीज यू। क्या एक्टिविटी? आप वॉक करती हैं? क्यों नहीं करती आप वॉक? ये देखिए, अच्छा, ये टाइम नहीं मिलना इज। आप सुबह उठती कितने बजे?
7 बजे।
तो आप 5 बजे नहीं उठ सकती? अभी सोचेंगी ना? आप कितने घंटे सोती हैं एवरेज?
6 hours।
अच्छा, 5.5 will be enough honestly. अगर आप 6 hours सो रही हैं, I promise you 5.5 will not kill you. But that half hour of walk will make a huge difference in your life. So इसकी मैं एग्जांपल यूँ देता हूँ। देखिए, this body we have is not really ours. ये बेसिकली आप यूँ समझिए किराए का घर है। कभी भी मालिक मकान ने नोटिस दे देना और आप फारिग, ठीक है? तो मैं ये चाहूंगा कि जब मैं घर खाली करूं तो जो किचन की हालत है, जो वॉशरूम की हालत है, तो गालियां तो ना पड़े ना उसमें। ऐसा ही है। So please, this is a humble request to everybody. Pay attention to your health because health is wealth, and it's very important to have all these three sides of a triangle in harmony, which is the mind, the body, and the spirit. By spirit, it means maybe you are spiritual, you are religious, तो आप अपनी नमाज पढ़ के सुकून हासिल करते हैं। Maybe you are into spirituality, आप meditation करते हैं। But in any case, it is very, very important to have your spiritual side aligned with your body and your mind. Truly promise you, you try that, but you have to work on all three. ये नहीं हो सकता कि आप spirituality practice कर रहे हैं, आपका mind बड़ा mindset बहुत strong है, लेकिन आपकी कोई physical activity नहीं है, that is not gonna work. So this is a triangle. A triangle always has three sides. There can be no triangle with two lines. Okay, since we are tech people, I will quickly, briefly touch the AI, the myths about AI, and where we are going with it. Very deep question. We are building machines that learn from us, but what are they going to learn from us? What is there to learn from humankind? We are making wars. We cannot live in harmony. We are the troublemakers actually in this world. What we are doing to the environment, what we are doing to the earth, the planet, it's our mother. It feeds us. It gives us everything that we have. आज जो मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ, मेरे कपड़े, मेरा even ये mic, anything that we have, it all comes from this planet. So what we are doing? It's a disservice what majority of human beings, there are some sensible people, but what majority of human beings are doing to this planet is a disservice to their mother. I cannot accept one person to be a good man unless his mother, his real life mother, biological mother, एक दरख्त आपके घर के बाहर है, उसको आप ध्यान दे सकते हैं, उसका ख्याल रख सकते हैं, जरूर करें। दिस इज अ सर्विस यू आर डूइंग टू योर मदर। आप ये समझें आप अपनी माँ के लिए कर रहे हैं, एंड इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Now the key question is we are talking a lot about how AI is going to control jobs and how AI is going to take over. Some of it is myth, but some of it is reality. We cannot defy reality. What is going to happen is going to happen. So it's better for us to be better prepared for that reality. We need to make sure that when the technology reaches that stage that it is ready for a takeover, we are on the side of that technology. We are not against it. And we have to work towards that. So let's first separate the myth from reality, what AI can do and what AI cannot do. It learns patterns, but it does not have a purpose. There is never going to be a time that AI has a purpose, because for purpose you need to have feelings. That is never going to happen. It can process data, but does not discernment. It mimics emotion, but it doesn't feel it. You know, I know there has been a new term now that a lot of people have become so acquainted with ChatGPT that they are considering it like their best friends and they're talking to ChatGPT as if it's some family member. There is a whole AI psychosis term for it now. And in some cases it is treated as an illness anymore now. That people are so attached with AI, so attached to their favorite chat engine, that they are literally in the back of their mind perceiving it as a real individual, as a real friend. That again is quite dangerous. So, but one thing which we all must understand that AI does not have emotions. It is just built on the training that it got from the human beings. So you've got to be very careful. You've got to be very considerate on how to use it. And in the end, for integrity, again, integrity is a very, very important concept. And I wish and I pray that in our country, this concept evolves. And basically, integrity means doing the right thing when no one is watching. When no one is watching. So if you want to see integrity, you go to Japan. You will find, I was amazed. I saw one picture that a car is parked almost a mile away from the office, like quite far. The farthest parking spot that could be available, the car is parked there. Why? Because in Japan it's a culture that people who come to work early, they want to park farther so that people who are late will not be late for work. Just recently there was a news article that the toll system in Tokyo broke down. The next day, 48,000 people called the company which is managing tolls to pay with their card because they said the system was down and we used the toll, so we're calling to pay. And in Pakistan, what happens? I saw a picture के पुलिस थाने में थानेदार बैठा हुआ है, पंखा लगा हुआ है और पंखा जंजीर उसकी टेबल के साथ बंधा हुआ है. ये पुलिस स्टेशन है. This is just on a lighter note. So basically, the key point here is that if humanity loses its virtue, AI will only amplify that loss. It's not the AI that is a danger for us, it's ourselves. We are a danger to ourselves. We need to realize that and we need to work on that. Again, very important concept, AI will never replace humans, but humans who have AI at their hand will replace other humans. This is going to happen. Alright, this is something you guys know. I think we are running out of time here, so I will. The next decade is going to be very interesting. I was in China just last week and I was amazed how the AI is shaping things. They're like, you don't find any service staff in hotels anymore. Your meals are delivered to your room by robots and they're so accurate, and like it's an amazing experience to see all that. All the toll systems are automated. So I think the next 10 years are going to be very interesting time. And now just this morning I was reading a paper in which they were saying that by 2050 the medical science will advance so much that the average human life might reach out to 500 years because of the enormous potential that is there in the research in the medical science due to AI. This is all probably going to happen. Nobody is sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but considering what has been achieved by AI in just the past 1 year or 2 years, I don't doubt it, this might even happen. Now, Pakistan's progress. No nation is poor that is rich in discipline. So again, we say that कि जी पाकिस्तान में ऐसा क्यों होता है? Questions people come up with the excuse कि जी गुर्बत इतनी है. But to those people, my question is कि आज से 30 साल पहले साउथ कोरिया आपसे ज़्यादा गरीब, सिंगापुर जो कि आज इसका GDP is in almost $750 billion with only 3 million population, was a far poorer nation than us just 30-40 years ago. So poverty is not an excuse for what we have in our country. We need to look inside ourselves. We need to see what we are doing as the citizens. क्या हम डिसिप्लिन हैं? हम अपने घर को साफ रखते हैं लेकिन अपना मोहल्ले की हमें कोई परवाह नहीं होती. A lot of times I see people are littering on the street just like that, So this is what you feel for your country, and then complaining ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा. So we need to come out of that. Stop thinking about कि लोग क्यों ऐसा कर रहे हैं या क्यों ऐसा नहीं कर रहे हैं. Start thinking about आपने क्या बेहतर करना है. and then see how things around you evolve. So basically we have to change, make few changes. We need to focus on education over on indoctrination, which what it means is that we need to teach our children how to think, not what to think. We need to educate our children. देखिए लिटरेसी एक लिटरेट शख्स में और एक एजुकेटेड शख्स में बहुत डिफरेंस है. हमारे यहाँ what we call is education is not really education, it's just literacy. कि आपने पढ़ना सीख लिया, आपने लिखना सीख लिया, आपने ड्रॉ करना सीख लिया, आपने कुछ अच्छी अच्छी बातें सीख ली. That is not education. Education is रोशन ख्याली, जिसको आप रोशन ख्याली कहते हैं. Open to ideas, challenge everything, and then apply what makes logical sense. ना कि मेरे अब्बू के भाई ने मुझे क्या बताया. Don't blindly just follow that. In a position where you are blessed with the ability to decide on something, then please make sure that you put merit before connections, merit before anything else. This will be a service to your country. This will be a real service to your country. Accountability or excuse, of course, accountability. If someone goes out of the way and do something which should not be done, then of course there has to be a way to put them accountable for that. This is something very important. And how you can contribute, like I said, don't wait for change. Marcus Aurelius, again, I'm going to quote him, he said, don't waste time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Just be a good man. You should not be arguing. This is very important. Master your craft. You know, Japanese nation, why it is so progressive is because Japan is one of, I think it's the most progressive nation in the world. Again, build people, invest in your people, invest in people, teach them. Like they say, each one teach one. If you are able to teach one individual, that is, your life is worthwhile. And discipline is the key to everything. Finally, I would like to thank you all for your time. आप लोगों ने बड़े तामुल से मुझे सुना. मेरी ख्वाहिश होगी अब आपसे Q&A की, लेकिन प्लीज मेरा एक वो वायरल हुआ था क्लिप. I was in a TV interview and when that finished, the audience, when they started asking question, एक मोहतरमा ने मुझसे पूछा मुझे अमीर बनने का तरीका बताएं. And that became viral. I was तो ऐसा कोई सवाल ना कीजिएगा. बाकी प्लीज feel free if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Of course, with the limited knowledge that I have, and I will seek your pardon in advance if there's something that you ask that I'm not able to answer. I'll be very bluntly honest about it. अगर मुझे समझ नहीं आएगी कि आपका जो सवाल है वो मेरी सलाहियत से बालातर है तो मैं आपसे एक्सक्यूज करूँगा. जी जी. Anybody, any question, please go ahead. या तो मैं आज बहुत अच्छा बोला हूं या आप लोगों को कक समझ नहीं आया. जी 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 जरूर. माइक में बोले ताकि तमाम हजरात, खवातीन और हजरात को सुनाई दे.
तो वो जो वायरल हो गया था आपका क्वेश्चन से इशू था या वायरल होने से?
देखिए, आई विल बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू, वायरल होने से तो किसी को इशू नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत वो 2 seconds ऑफ फेम तो हमें भी पसंद आ ही जाते हैं. बट आई फेल्ट अ बिट स्ट्रेंज कि हमारे यहाँ लोगों को व्हाई दे वांट टू लुक फॉर शॉर्टकट्स. देखिए, एक बड़ी अच्छी, देयर इज वन वेरी गुड कोट व्हिच सेज देयर इज ओनली वन शॉर्टकट इन द वर्ल्ड एंड दैट लीड्स टू द फेलियर. और हमारे मुल्क में भी मैं अक्सर जो यंग लोग होते हैं मैं उन्हें कहता हूँ, देखो बेटा, हमारा जो सबसे बड़ा अलमिया है ना वो ये है कि हम टेनिस की गेम लेते हैं, उस पर बिजली का टेप चढ़ाते हैं और उससे क्रिकेट खेलते हैं और फिर हम कहते हैं गोरे को क्या पता. ठीक है, तो इसमें कोई हम कमाल नहीं कर रहे हैं. बेसिकली हम क्या कर रहे हैं, वी आर इन्वेंटिंग शॉर्टकट्स जिससे हम उस गेम की स्पिरिट को ही तबाह कर रहे हैं. और यही होता है कि हमारे पास जो हमारा athletes का standard है, that is not at par with even our neighboring countries. We must admit the fact. So अगर आप काम से ज़्यादा ना उसका जो तरीका है, that is more important. आप सही तरीके से गलत काम भी करेंगे ना, तो the overall impact on the humanity will be far better than. So if anybody else has a question, please feel free, or else we can call it a day. चलिए जी, thank you so much everybody for your time, and I wish you all the best and hope to see you guys sometime soon somewhere. Thank you very much ji, thank you.
Thank you so much. Just if you could just hold a moment. Nadeem Saab will join us on stage.
Thank you, Asif. Pretty interesting session. I think the very simple. So the best messages are when they are communicated in a very simple manner. So I think it was very. There was nothing difficult actually. It was a very simple sort of reflection of a lot of ideas which keep floating around. So I'm glad you spoke at length on our conduct and it was also very disparate, so for a good together a lot of things for us. So thank you for your time. It's not easy to find time and to address.
Thank you ji, it was an honor to be here, and
we have a Pakistani of our Okay, take care.